share with us. I'm looking at the website. You know, I was poking around earlier, and so many things. You have retreats, you have online classes, you host retreats, you have you have it all. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a quite comprehensive program. We're trying to offer different programs, especially our core program is the 200-hour teacher training that we run monthly. And then we have on top of that 300-hour and 500-hour teacher trainings. They're all recognized by Yoga Alliance. And we also recently included another 200-hour ATHA-specific TTC, teacher training course. Plus we have the yoga retreats run weekly and the meditation retreat. So yeah, we have a few programs running it, and we have our have you seen on the website, we have a beach resort, so we have a beautiful location right on the beach, a private beach.
So beautiful. I mean, it almost looks fake, quite honestly. Like, you look at it, and I as I mentioned before, I've never been to Thailand, and everyone I know that has gone has just had beautiful things to say about it. And I actually like that there's so many, it's a little bit remote. I mean, I'm not familiar with the area, but you have to take a plane and then another plane and then a ferry. So I love that, because especially as you're doing your meditation and your training, you want to be away from the noise, right? So you want to be in a little bit of a safe, secluded area. So I love that it's like this whole process to get there.
Yeah, so that's true, exactly. Koh Phangan has become famous among yoga lovers for being like a very thriving yoga community. So you'll find different yoga schools on the island, and that's what's been famous for. However, I don't know if that's one of the things you wanted to ask me later, but because I mentioned that there are other yoga schools, and that's true. But back in 2017, Danny and Henrik, they are the founders of the yoga school of One Yoga. They decided to set up a new school because they were not satisfied with the quality, let's say, of the teacher training, or they decided to set it up a more authentic, sincere school based on that's what I used. I personally used to work at other yoga schools. It's still in the same island before, but I found their One Yoga's purity and like their teaching sticks to the traditional meaning of yoga instead of the fitness part of it, let's say.
Yeah.
That's why.
So you mentioned they've been open since 2017. So that's before the pandemic, and you know, that was hard for a lot of people. So the fact that they've managed to stay open and do all this, and still, you know, now in 2023 still continue to be open, that's an amazing, I mean, that just says to the success of what they're offering, and it's obviously something that's needed and people are enjoying. Which came first? Was it the online program? Was it the retreat? Was it the actual center that you guys have? Because it's a whole resort center that you have.
Yeah. No, it all started like very small. Like when Danny was having his own retreat, he was into Buddhism. He's also still into Buddhism, and he was having a retreat, a Shivananda retreat in a monastery. And Henrik joined also for the meditation part of it. So they decided to do something to improve the quality of the school, of the teaching, of yoga teaching. So the first thing they did was just, okay, let's just start proposing some teacher trainings. And it was a very small idea at the beginning, and then it developed into something much bigger. And now we certify more than 350 students each year. And so the on-site part, the teacher training is the core of our offering, let's say. Which we believe it's a very transformative process. That's what people are mostly looking for, to embrace yoga as a lifestyle, not only to become to get a title to hang on the wall, but to change their life. So that's the main part of it. And then later, during the pandemic, we had to explore other ways to get to the people, because Thailand was also quite hit by, Thailand is income is mainly based on tourism. So there was no tourists, or actually the only ones who were in Thailand, they stayed there, including myself. So we were like sort of into this beautiful little island, stuck on the
Wow.
island, and
Wow.
so they had
I
and
mean, if
they
you're
had
going
to
to
come
be,
up with
yeah, if you're going to be stuck
yes.
somewhere, be stuck in paradise, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it was. I know that everywhere in the world we were watching news. Everywhere people were in a lockdown, but the island itself was a small secluded place, so it was already locked down in itself. So nobody
mm,
could come in or get out, basically. So it was kind of safe to be there because the people who were there, they were kind of safe in that time. So we had
right,
our own small community on the island, and that's when they started developing the online part of it, and
mm,
we started delivering online teacher trainings,
right,
and that worked quite well for a couple of years until they started reopening the borders.
right,
And more or less at the same time, we also opened the not only the teacher trainings but also the online studio, which is the
mm,
online branch, let's say, of One Yoga, in which
right.
we offer online classes, courses. We now have around 900 classes and over 80 courses and
Wow.
challenges for yoga, meditation,
Yeah.
pranayama, philosophy, anything you.
And I love that people are still offering online yoga. I personally still enjoy doing online yoga, and it's nice to have the opportunity to do both and for people to get to know the style of teaching and then maybe take it further and then visit you live and in person. So it's a great thing. Do you find that they're still as popular, the online courses, or are people more for the in-person experience? What are people preferring these days?
So I believe for the teacher training, the physical contact, the in-person experience is
Mm,
still more valuable because you can really get a great feeling,
yeah,
and yeah. So for yoga teacher training, I believe that yeah, in person it's more valuable. But for
yeah,
practicing yoga at home, it's great. I mean, you can
right.
just carry your yoga app on your phone and practice everywhere whenever you
Yeah.
want. So you don't need to go to a. Sometimes it's not always useful, accessible, to reach a yoga studio or. So that's great for your own self practice. It's amazing.
What do you find? I don't know if you know this information, but what is the most popular courses that you offer? You have so many. You have the meditation, you have the training, and then you have the retreats. What is the most popular thing?
So, well, I have to for the on-site part,
For
we
both, for
have
either one.
besides the yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the on-site, besides the yoga teacher training, the 200-hour yoga teacher training is currently our main program. And
Mm,
besides that, we have the yoga sadhana retreat, which
mm,
we run weekly, and both of them are very popular.
mm.
And the next three teacher trainings are fully booked, and the yoga sadhana retreats are also doing very well.
Yeah.
That's for the on-site part. For the online part, we have
Mm,
challenges that are very popular among
mm,
people because
yeah.
they keep them engaged. So it's like a 1 week or 2 weeks or even 3 week challenge, yoga
Yeah.
challenges and meditation challenges. And these are very interesting because they keep people, help keep the practice up.
So, what would you say to someone that's considering going to visit the campus, going to visit on site at the retreat? How would they prepare for that experience?
Well, if they've never been to Thailand before, first of all, you have to adapt to the different environment, but it's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's a bit challenging if you're coming from a different place and you've never been to Thailand, but the experience itself is amazing. So it's a beautiful tropical island and a very nice resort with comfortable bungalows. So you just need to have your own yoga. I mean, if you practice before a little yoga before, it's great.
Yeah.
But our courses are open also for beginners. So if you're
Oh,
just
that's
starting
good.
out with yoga, there's no just open heart and willingness to learn and sit down on the mat and just absorb as much as you can. That's all you need.
And what a beautiful place to do that and to enjoy. Do you find that a lot of the students or the participants, do they stay a little bit longer or maybe never leave? Like, why would I
They
leave?
do, they do.
Like you.
No, yeah, that's right. That's right. Lots of people who come to Kopangan for a yoga course, they just decided to move there and to stay there
Wow.
for life. I mean, that's the same story of the founders. I mean, they were just there for a short
Mm,
time and then decided to have their life and their business there. It's very common.
yeah.
And yeah, it's
What
not
do
the
you, I
first
don't know.
time.
I don't know
Not,
if you know this,
mm,
but what did Danny do before? I know he's been like studying for many years. You know, he was a practitioner and then he was studying. Did he have a career previous to running and founding this retreat center, or was he always just yoga, yoga, yoga? Like,
no, no. I know he had for as far as I know, I know he was in a corporate life, and then he had this passion for yoga,
yeah,
Buddhism, especially Buddhism and yeah, Eastern practices.
yeah,
Um, I don't know exactly. I cannot remember. He told me, but I cannot remember
yeah,
the field in which he was. But
yeah,
many people just come from very different backgrounds, and then they transform their life with, and career with
yeah.
teacher training or with a yoga retreat.
And I think that that's really the most important and valuable thing, right? It's like a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to just do yoga. But no, it really is about transforming your life, you know, and maybe reassessing where you are in your life and seeing what is still working and what isn't working. But having that opportunity in a beautiful location among people that are doing the same thing. It's so, you can't, there are no words to describe it. It will change your life. Even if you don't want it to, it will change your life. So I always encourage
That's
people,
true.
if they have the time and they have the means, to do these things and to go to these beautiful places and experience all these amazing things, you know, and it will change your life. You know, everyone I've ever spoken to
Yeah.
who's been to Thailand has just said it's just absolutely stunning. So I'm so happy that you guys are partnering with us and that we're able to share this. I'm looking at the website, this beautiful location where you guys are. What's coming for the future that you might be able to share with us? Are there any, you already have a lot happening with retreats and online. Is there anything else that you see, any other locations, or is it just staying in Thailand for now? What, is there anything you can share?
So as far as courses are concerned, we kept adding courses. Like in 2023, we added the Hatha teacher training,
Mm.
and we had the postgraduate diploma course in collaboration with the Bangkok University of Maidol University. So it's the first
Oh,
course of this kind, combining yoga and Ayurveda. Um,
oh.
we are in communication with the teacher to set up a new date for next
Mhm.
year. And yeah, we have some plans. We are looking
Mhm.
around, but I is still in very early stages, so I cannot disclose much about that.
Yeah,
But yes,
no, no.
by which
That's
we are looking
great.
at other venues. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like, just seeing sort of the path you guys have taken so far, it would make sense that you would be doing more things. You know, when you started in one thing and it just grew and grew and grew, you know, it would make sense. And I love that you're working sort of with the local communities as well. So you're working with the schools in Bangkok and you're integrating that into the programming. And I think that's also really important. And I think people will enjoy and appreciate that as well. Was that something that they were, is that's something new? You said that relationship with the university?
Yeah, it's last year we ran the first. We ran twice this program,
Yeah.
this postgraduate diploma, and it was the first of its kind to combine the science of Ayurveda with yoga, and it was very groundbreaking to have a postgraduate diploma. So it's an academic
Mm.
level course on top of the. It's a yoga training, so you also get all the yoga training plus Ayurveda.
Yeah.
That was quite innovating. Plus, you mentioned something about local community, and
Mm.
I wanted to add something on that because we do offer something very unique in our teacher training, which is the extended practicum. So we give
Mm.
newly certified teachers, so recent graduates, the opportunity to stay with us after the training and teach
Mm.
classes right away to the
Mhm.
local community. That's for free, so they can just
Yeah.
teach and start, getting some confidence
Right.
and also still with the support of the trainers of the teachers who are behind them.
Yeah. And are you a yoga teacher yourself as well, or are you just you are? Yeah.
I am, yeah. I also took
Yeah.
my teacher training, not with One Yoga because I didn't
Yeah.
know them back in 2014,
Right. Yeah.
but yeah, I took my training as well. Yes.
So everyone in the company, that's amazing. You know, even people that do the social media and everyone, people that do, you know, web and tech and marketing, they all come from sort of a yoga background, which is an amazing thing, right? Because we love this so much.
No, it's true. If you have to share some content or marketing, everything,
Yeah.
yeah, of course, if you have your own practice or some yoga background, it helps a lot also to
Yeah.
understand yeah, the audience and what they're looking for. And so yes, we all of us, I think we're all grounded with some yoga practice.
Are you still able to find time for your practice, even though you're busy and working and, you know, part of this community? Do you still make time for your own practice?
Yeah, mostly yes. In the morning, I
Yeah.
like to have my own practice. I have some days, of course, that yeah, it's true that what I was gonna say is that we sometimes we make our own excuses, you know, like, oh, I don't have time. But actually, you can make time for it, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes, you know, just
Yeah.
to sit down and do some movement or just focus on your breath. So there's always your mind is always leading you to think that you don't have time or you have some excuses,
Yeah.
but just yeah, it's important just to sit down for a few minutes even and check in with yourself.
And I think that's something it took me personally a long time to really accept and say it doesn't necessarily have to be a class that's 75 minutes long and that's my yoga, especially as I get older and busier. It's okay that it's 10 minutes, you know, and that's okay. And I love also that these online offerings, they have all the different ranges. Usually it's like there's a 60-minute or there's a 90-minute. So sometimes
Yes,
you don't have the time, you know, and other times you have the 10 minutes to just breathe. So I love that
yes,
that's something that people are sharing and is available for people to do. I wish I had known that when
exactly.
I was younger. You know, I was like, I have to show up at the class and be there, and it has to, you know. But now it's once your mind is more accepting of all these things, you're just more at peace with the whole thing. So everyone
No,
is much
but that's also
happier.
the beauty of the online studio is that you can filter out classes by duration, so you can get something that is 10 minutes long only if you only have 10
Yeah,
minutes, or 15 or 20 or 30 or 1 hour, or 1 hour.
yeah.
So we have different lengths, and you can choose according to your schedule.
Yeah, and 10 minutes is just as good as 60. You know, they're all great and they're all going to give you something, you know. So that's I think that's really great that it's being offered now. Thank you, Philippe, so much for joining us today. Is there anything you'd like to share? Your article is on our website now, so there's a little more information. We have your retreats and offerings on our events page too. So if people are looking to travel and maybe take a little vacation, especially here we're in the East Coast in New York City. If you're looking as the
Yes,
winter gets a little colder, maybe you want to hop on a plane and go visit them in Thailand. So anything else you'd like
yes,
to
that's what I
share
was gonna
before?
say.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I was gonna
all
say
I
that,
have
yeah,
is
if you
I moved my plan so I could have a little bit of a homage to Thailand. So it's not just,
no,
you know, gray buildings.
if you're lucky enough to get some time off of work, like 1 or 2 weeks, and just come to Thailand, and now it's the best season of the year because it's from December to March. April,
Yeah.
it's great season. It's high season also as well, but
Right.
it's perfect now to come. You don't get so much rain, and the weather is nice, and it's great to just unplug from work and get yourself
Yeah.
some well-deserved retreat.
Yes, everyone could use the rest in paradise. Thank you so much. I'm gonna save this and I'll send you the link. We'll upload it to YouTube as well so we can share it again. And thank you for joining us. And again, thank you for supporting our publication. We only exist because of partners like you, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you for
Thanks a lot,
joining us.
Yana.
And tell Danny hi. I hope his phone is okay. That's gonna be.
I
Oh my
sent you a
goodness.
picture by email. You can have a look how it looks like.
Oh, I feel that. You know, our phones are like our lifelines lately. And once that thing is not working, it's anyway, thank you so much for joining us today. Take care.
Thanks a lot, Yana.
Bye.
Have a great day. Bye.